Hello students, this is Prasad BG, Assistant Professor, AJ Institute of Engineering and Technology, Mangalore. So we have completed horizontal milling machine in the previous class. So now we will be continuing with vertical milling machine. Okay, as the name itself suggests, in the vertical milling machine you can see the milling cutter that is vertical. It is placed vertical in the spindle. Whereas in the case of horizontal milling machine, the arbor was placed horizontal and the milling cutter was mounted on that. So that is the basic difference. Apart from that, there are certain things we have to know about the vertical milling machine. That is, the axis of the spindle is perpendicular to the workpiece and it is in vertical plane. Okay, the axis of the spindle is perpendicular to the workpiece here and it is in the vertical plane. Second thing is that the cutter or the milling cutter is mounted directly on the spindle. So the spindle is connected to the motor here. So when from the motor the power is transmitted to the cutter and the cutter will rotate. Okay, now related to the motions, here in this case the spindle can move up and down in the vertical axis or in the y-axis. That means the spindle can be lowered or raised from the spindle head in this particular case, which was not possible in the case of horizontal milling machine. Okay, so coming to the important parts of the vertical milling machine, you have the column. Column is from the column you have an extended portion which contains the motor, the spindle head and the milling cutter. Okay, on the bottom of the column here you can see there is a knee which is supported by a knee elevating screw. So there is a handle in the right which is called as the knee elevating handle. That is, when you rotate that knee elevating handle, it is possible for you to move the entire knee up and down. And also on top of the knee you have the saddle, and on top of the saddle there is work table, and on top of the work table you will place the workpiece for which has to be machined. Okay, so the movements, as I've told you, using the knee elevating handle you can actually move the entire portion of the knee up and down through the knee elevating screw, and on top of that there is saddle. So if you want to move only the saddle, that is not the knee, only the saddle, it can be moved in longitudinal direction, that is in along x-axis. So okay, so there is one more cross feed handle above the knee elevating handle. There is one more lever that is called the cross feed handle. So when you rotate the cross feed handle, it is possible for the saddle to move in the x-axis again. So saddle can be moving along the longitudinal direction. And on top of that we have the work table. Now the work table also has a hand wheel. As you can see, there's a hand wheel on the work table. So when you rotate the handle, the work table can move transverse direction, that is along z-axis. I hope you got the difference between the movement of the saddle and movement of the work table. The movement of the saddle will be along x-axis or in the longitudinal direction, whereas the movement of the workpiece or the work table will be along the transverse direction or in the z-axis. The movement of the spindle will be along y-axis. So I hope you understand. X-axis movement is for the work table and the saddle. Z-axis movement is for the workpiece or the work table, and y-axis movement is for the milling cutter. Okay. Now some of the differences between horizontal milling machine and vertical milling machine. In vertical milling machine, the milling cutter rotates along with the vertical axis and the feed is given to the cutter and then material will be removed. The spindle can also be tilted to left or right on the vertical axis. There is a provision given. Okay, and the milling cutters that are normally used in vertical milling machines are usually for end mill or slot milling. Okay, whereas in the horizontal milling machine the cutter is generally used for plain milling or say side milling or form milling. Okay, we will see what is form milling, what is plain milling, and what is end mill and slot milling in the next milling operations. Okay, so this is about vertical milling machine. So whenever the question is asked on vertical milling machine, you will have to draw the neat sketch, explain all the parts, and then tell how the milling operation is taking place. So we will move on to the milling operations. Okay, so the milling operations are plane milling or slab milling, angular milling, face milling, form milling, slot milling, straddle milling, and finally gang milling. So you will have to study all of these milling operations, and definitely one or two or probably three also could be asked in the examination. It is also the question will be generally like that: explain the following milling operations, and they will ask at least two or three. They'll ask at least what is face milling, what is straddle milling, and what is gang milling. So you'll have to draw the sketch and give a brief description about these operations. So let's see one by one. What do you mean by these operations? Okay, first one is plane milling or slab milling. So plane milling or slab milling is a process used to mill flat surfaces of workpiece in such a way that the milling cutter axis is parallel to the surface of the part that is being milled. Okay, so plane milling or slab milling usually will have the workpiece and also the milling cutter in the same axis or in the parallel axis. They will be parallel to each other. The axis of the milling cutter as well as the axis of the workpiece will be parallel. And in this particular plane milling or slab milling, what we generally do is, if you want to get a flat surface on the top, okay, so the workpiece will have irregular surfaces or it may have some irregular shapes. So if you want to produce a flat surface on each of the surfaces, on the top surface or an inside surface, you need to place that surface and the milling cutter will be running over it. Okay, so this is basically an operation to make flat surfaces on the top. So yeah, there is no cutting action that is taking place. You are only removing the irregularities from the surface and you're making a very smooth or a flat surface. So this process is called as plane milling or slab milling. As the name itself says, it's plane milling, or it's usually a flat surface is usually called as a slab, and that's why it's called as slab milling. So what you need to do in this question is asked this: you will have to draw this sketch first and explain what do you mean by plane milling. Okay, second one is end milling. So you can see this is basically an operation that is performed in vertical milling machine, and as I told you, the plane milling or the slab milling is probably done using a horizontal milling machine. Okay, so you have seen both horizontal milling machine as well as vertical milling machine. So one of the difference in application is plane milling or slab milling is usually done on a horizontal milling machine, and end milling is usually done on a vertical milling machine. Okay, so in case of an end milling, so basically end milling is a process of milling that is used to mill slots, pockets or keyways in such a way that the axis of the milling cutter is perpendicular to the surface of the workpiece. Okay, so I hope you understand the difference between the previous one and this one. So in this case, the milling cutter axis is perpendicular to the surface of the workpiece. Okay, it's not parallel, it's perpendicular. So it's basically used to cut keyways or a particular slot or a particular pockets, right? So as you can see in the sketch, only a portion of the workpiece is shown. So if in the current position, whatever is there, if you can extend that cutter from one end to the other end, so you usually get a slot or a rectangular or a square slot over the length of the workpiece. Okay, so next one is called slot milling. So slot milling is basically a process of milling in which slots of different types are cut using a drill which is generally called as a slot drill. Okay, the slot drill which has a capacity to cut into different slots given. So slot drills are basically used in cases where it takes a lot of time to pre-drill a hole for an end mill, and there is no enough room for the end mill to plunge into a helical portion. Okay, so slot drill is basically done, which is almost similar to end mill, but a slot drill has a capacity to cut into different types of shapes. So when we say end mill, generally the end mill can be of only a rectangular or a square section. So slot drill can be any particular slot. So you need a different type of drill for a specific kind of a slot. So if you want to have a dovetail slot, then it has to be a different drill that is milling cutter that has to be used. If you want a triangular slot or a rectangular slot, so depending on what type of slot you want, the slot drill has to be different. Okay, so if in other words, you can say it's a similar kind of end mill only, but end mill is usually, as I told you, the major application of an end mill is for creating slots or pockets or a keyways. But slot drill is generally done so that a particular type of a slot is cut in a required shape. Okay, so next one is angular milling. Okay, an angular milling is a milling operation that is used to mill flat surfaces that are neither parallel nor perpendicular to the milling cutter axis. Okay, so angular milling is usually done to mill a particular surfaces, a flat surface. Okay, that is generally not being parallel, neither being perpendicular. So you need to cut the particular face at an angle. So in such a case, you will have to use a angular milling cutter. So generally these are used to cut surfaces like a dovetail, grooves, or a chamfers, or any serrations that has to be made. Okay, so you know the shape of a dovetail, right? So it will not be flat, it will have angle on the side. Okay, so what has to be done is the milling cutter has to go at an angle rather than going either parallel or perpendicular to that. So it is very easy to cut a square or a rectangular slot because they are perpendicular to cut. But if at all you want to cut a dovetail shape or any particular angular shape or any chamfer to be given, then it is not possible for a milling machine to directly cut into a chamfer. So it has to go through at an angle over the surface. So in such case, we are using a milling machine, a milling process that is called as angular milling. Okay. So let's go to the next one. So next one is called as form milling. In form milling, if at all you want to cut a slot which is neither a rectangular nor angled, if you want a curves or any particular contours, then we have to use a separate separate cutter that is called as form mill cutter. Okay, form milling is basically a milling process which is used to machine a special contours consisting of curves and straight lines. It can be having a straight lines or it is generally a complete curve. Okay, so it's very difficult to cut curves in case of using end milling cutters. So we need to have a particular form milling cutter which will be having the shape exactly to the contour that has to be milled. Okay, so that means it is something like, if you want a curve, for example, if you've seen the sketch here, in this particular form milling cutter, you will get a U-shaped contour because the form milling cutter itself is like that. So if you want any particular shape with the irregular with the curves, then you need to use a different form milling cutter depending on what sort of shape you want. Okay, so that type of milling operation is called as form milling. Okay, so next one is called as straddle milling. So what is straddle milling? So generally you can see in most of the milling operation, you would see that there is only one milling cutter. Okay, there is only one milling cutter, but in case of straddle milling, you usually have two milling cutters separated by a distance. So what exactly happens in the case of straddle milling is that you have two parallel sides. Okay, let's say you are supposed to do slab milling to that or plain milling to one side and on the other side as well. So if you're using a slab milling or a plain milling cutter, what happens is you need to fix the workpiece in such a way that one surface is there. You need to completely do the process once on one of the surfaces. Then you have to again remove the workpiece, again change the attachment, turn it to the other side, again fix the workpiece, and again do the operation. So that means you're doing the operation twice, right, to mill it on the either sides. Rather, if you are using a straddle milling operation, what it can be done is the workpiece will be fitted in such a way that the two milling cutters will be placed side by side and the workpiece will be placed in the center. So when the milling sorry so in case of straddle milling, if you place the workpiece in such a way that the two milling cutters are side by side and they can perform two slab or plain milling operations simultaneously. For example, as you can see in the sketch here, let's say you have to do the finishing operation, or you want to get the flat surface on a hexagonal bolt. Okay, a large hexagonal bolt which generally has 6 faces, isn't it? So if you are using a plain milling or slab milling, you will have to do the operation 6 times on each of the faces. Rather, if you are using a straddle milling, so you need to do the workpiece on you need to do the operation only thrice. That means in one operation 2 faces will be milled. So when you do it 3 times, the opposite sizes, that all the 6 sides will be milled. So that is called as straddle milling. So to explain more about what is straddle milling, we have an animation of the straddle milling cutter which I will be playing next. So as you can see here, there are two milling cutters, so which are made to go over the workpiece. So as the milling process is happening, you could see that they are simultaneously machining two surfaces on either side, right? They simultaneously machining both the sizes. That means you are basically using a single arbor and you are using two milling cutters side by side. Okay, so the next one and the last operation is called as gang milling. So gang milling is similar to straddle milling, but it's another step further, we can say. As you can see the sketch here, there are so many milling cutters. In straddle, in most of the operations like end milling and slab milling and angular milling, we had only one milling cutters. Then we have studied about straddle milling, where I told you we can use two milling cutters simultaneously. So now in the case of gang milling, you can see the number of milling cutters. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of cutters. So we have 3 plain milling cutters in between and then 2 cutters on the other sides. That means, as I've told you, suppose if you want to have multiple milling operations that has to be performed on the workpiece, so instead of doing it individually, you can use a gang milling cutter and then you can perform all the operations simultaneously because all the milling cutters are connected to a single arbor. Right, so the milling cutters will be rotating and you place the workpiece depending upon the requirement. For example, in this case, what are the different operations that has to be done? So on either side, the workpiece, which is in T in section, the sideways on both the sides, there has to be slab milling that has to be done. The plain milling has to be done. The surface has to be milled properly. So we are using 2 side and face milling cutters on the either side. One. Second thing, the surface, the center portion of that also has to be milled simultaneously. So you can see there is a plain milling cutter that has been used. And you can see in between there has to be a slot that has to be taken. So we are also using an end milling cutter. So when we are using multiple milling cutters, we call that as gang milling. Okay, so that is called as gang milling. So in general, if I want to explain what is gang milling is a process of milling operation in which Several types of milling cutters according to the shape of the desired work surface is used. In straddle milling, we are using only two types of two milling cutters. In gang milling, there can be more than two, generally more than two. It can be 3, 4 or 5. So multiple operations can be performed simultaneously. That process is called as gang milling process. Okay, so with this different types of milling operation, we have come to the end of the milling operations. So in milling machine, what are the things we have to study is basically principle of milling, that is up milling and down milling, followed by the milling machines, horizontal milling and vertical milling, and then milling operations. So which are the milling operations we have studied? We have studied plane milling or slab milling, then end milling, slot milling, angular milling, straddle milling, and gang milling. So this is the entire portion coming from module 5, the first part of that. We have finished lathe and its operation, then milling and its operation. So next will be the continuation of module 5 itself, but that is a separate section, that is advanced manufacturing system, which we will be studying in the next class. Okay, thank you.